What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim and Jeris Sports Talk. Of course, we got Jeris back with us today. How you doing, Jeris?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good deal. Hey, pretty well. We don't usually get pretty well. I feel like we get usually, all right. But no, good. It must have been a good week. Somebody's excited for Thanksgiving. Well,
Yeah.
What is up, everybody? It's 4 people already here. What's up, guys? Chase Young's here. What's up? All right. Well, before we get into anything, first link in the description is the link to our second channel, Tim and Jeris Sports Talks. Please go subscribe. We're 1 away from 50 subscribers. We're just getting started on it. Chris is going to post the clips of this show, so if you want to get a shorter version of maybe certain topics, like if you have something more interested in and you don't want to watch the full hour and a half or whatever, you can hit that channel up to get the more shorter segments. So please subscribe to that channel in the description below. What up, Red Wings in the chat? How's it going? All right. Well, also, before we get into some Carolina Panthers game recap, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I wanted to just start this off with what's your plans tomorrow, Chris?
To stay home,
Oh.
to watch some sports, to get me a nice big old fat plate and sit down and eat it. That's my plan.
Is Thanksgiving at your house?
I might I think the gym is open, so I'll probably go to the gym in the morning. That'll help kill some time while the food being made. Go there, then come back home, take a shower, probably get in my bed, watch the game until we'll get
There
ready.
you go. And so Thanksgiving's at your house?
Yep.
Do you have family that comes over, or is it just the immediate family?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you're not
Everybody
part
don't
of that
even bother
process.
me as long as I get my plate.
Good deal. That's actually a great idea to burn off those calories before you stuff your face with all that food. So for sure, that's a great idea. Yeah, my Thanksgiving is a long Thanksgiving. It's like Thanksgiving in my family is like a 4-day event. Like usually, a lot of my family's already at my aunt's house. Some of them got there last night. Most of them got there tonight, so they'll be hanging out all tonight. Then Thanksgiving, of course, tomorrow. This year's an in-law year, so I'm going to my mother-in-law's house. But then after that, we'll be going tomorrow night. We'll be going to my aunt's house and hang out there a couple days, and it'll be a whole lot of fun. So I'll get tons and tons of different foods, a selection of foods I don't even know. And then, as you like to say, it'll probably just be turkey, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese, and then call it a day.
Whack.
Yeah, I don't know how much variety I'll actually end up eating, but my wife did make her famous no-bake cookies. You ever had no-bakes?
What is that?
Sometimes they're called like Raggedy Robins. It's like the kind of like the weird like oatmeal looking cookies that are like brown like a chocolate, has peanut butter in it, oatmeal, peanut butter, chocolate, sugar. I don't know. It's delicious.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and the reason they call it no bakes is literally you don't bake them. You just like kind of cook them in a pot, stir them up, and then you just put them on those cookie sheets and just let them harden. And so anyway, they're really, really good cookies, and my wife makes the best. With some help from me. I gave her some critiques over the years. The first 5 years of our relationship, I would always hate on her cookies, but now she's perfected it, and now I can say they are phenomenal. But what's up, everybody? Kevin Davis just says bye. All right, so hi, bye to you. What up, fellas? Just got off work. What's the news? Well, we're going to get into that for sure, but how's it going,
You know
Rashid?
what?
What's
How
up?
about the winner in fantasy? It depends. I was going to say get your wife cookies, but I mean, if Doc see it, I'm the best winner. There's no way that they can get it. But if
Yeah.
I win it, that's what I win.
All right, if you win, that's fine. We'll send you
Yeah,
some.
if I win, that's
We'll send
what
you
I
some
do.
no bakes cookies. That's a good
Yeah,
idea. I
if
like that.
win.
Oh yeah, look at that. Didn't know it was a gun show. Look at Chris pulling out the guns. I called him small one day, and he sent me a video of him lifting a ton of weight. I don't even know how much it was. It's like, all right, Chris, it's fair enough. I haven't lifted weights in forever, but all right, so there you go. Yeah, we don't want to see my guns. I got good long sleeves. I got it's not even really long sleeves. They're
Like
just
a head
longer
coach,
sleeves.
Man, one of these days somebody gonna call you and be like, "You want to be a coach?"
Yeah, there you go. That'll be fun. One day when I have kids, I would love to be a coach. That'll be a lot of fun. But, all right, let's go ahead and hop into the real stuff that people came here for. And I wanted to start with this Carolina Panthers game recap. I mean, 27-21. Heineke looked great. What are your thoughts on this game after a couple of days of letting it sink in that we've won 2 in a row against this NFC South.
Great game, fantastic game, hostile environment. We showed up the way we were supposed to show up. Cam's homecoming. I mean, pretty much shut the building down after Cam's Newton, putting them up 14-7, running to the middle of the field, throwing the football down. You know, that they could have went left. We came back, we responded, and we just kept it pushing and kept it moving. So I'm happy about the game, but we got to put this game behind us and get ready for Monday.
Fair enough. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff this game. And, like, it was fun because Cam Newton actually played pretty well, unfortunately. This secondary still has some question marks for sure. I mean, 21 for 27 for Cam, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. He also ran the ball, 10 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. So 3 touchdowns on the day for Cam. So he definitely did not play poorly whatsoever. But one of my things was anybody but Christian McCaffrey. And honestly, 119 total yards of offense for Christian McCaffrey is not the end of the world. I mean, he only was allowed 10 carries last week because we were winning a majority of the game and we did a good job. But yeah, I was happy. That was one of my keys to victory. Anybody but McCaffrey. And we did give him that 27-yard touchdown pass. That was unfortunate. But how about Antonio Gibson? All right, so Antonio Gibson in the first quarter, early in the second quarter, he ends up fumbling the football, gets benched for nearly the entire second quarter, but then comes back and responds in that second half, absolutely pounding the rock. Was a big part of us winning this football game. We really controlled the time of possession like we've been doing. I mean, I think we won it by 10 minutes this week. I think we won it by nearly 20 minutes last week. What do you think about Gibby? Is Gibby really have a fumbling problem, or you think he can fix this?
I mean, he has a fumbling problem this year. Now, obviously, he don't have no choice but yes, he can fix it. He's going to fix it because otherwise, he don't want to be not playing. So I'm sure he's going to fix it. Great game from him. He's starting. When you look at this game, it kind of seemed to me that everybody's starting to get into form. Like when as you've seen them progress last year and they got better, I feel like they're back to that now. As far as the offensive players, I feel like the offensive players reverted literally back to last year and actually started to progress. As far as Terry's been Terry all year, but Terry's starting to look. The Heineke, he's starting to just, take a leap, and Gibson's starting to basically, round into shape. So, I mean, and the O-line has just been phenomenal. DeAndre Carter, he wasn't hit last year, but Carter looks good. I mean, Dax looks good. Hey, looks perfect to me.
Speaking of Mr. Heineke actually has played really well these last 2 games. I mean, accurate passes, smart decisions with the football. He hasn't turned it over in 2 weeks, if I remember correct. I don't think he had any interceptions against Tampa. He did not throw anything really dangerous last week either. Like, I don't even remember a football last week that was like, you kind of like got almost intercept. No, it was like everything was nice and crisp. Like the only thing I think he did a little bit too much was maybe take a sack. I think he took like 3 sacks that he probably shouldn't have, but he protected the football. And what the biggest thing I've noticed in this team differently in these last 2 games is when we get into those third and manageables, Heineke is doing a great job of finding the open man, getting it to him quickly, and getting the first downs and keeping these drives alive, hence why we're crushing it in the time of possession battle. And there's a whole sector of the fan base that thinks that we don't need to draft a quarterback. Taylor Heineke is the future of this football team. With these last 2 games, is there any credence to that? Like, do you think there's actually a pathway for Taylor Heineke to earn the starting job in 2022?
I mean, there's a pathway, sure. But that pathway will have to lead to us being in the playoffs. If there's no playoffs, he's not. Now, he may be the starter going into, period. He may be, and I don't care if he is, because that gives good time for the franchise quarterback that we're going to draft to sit. So, I mean, if he would literally have to take us to the playoffs, I think that's what's going to have to take. If he just run it and we win out or something like that, I mean, what you gonna say? No,
It's gonna
because then you gotta look at if we win out, we're going to win a playoff game. We're going to win a playoff game. And if we were to win out, we probably have a higher seed. So we may even win the division. So
if we win out, we would be 11-6. That's kind of a crazy thought process to think about, sitting at 2-6 and now winning out potentially.
And it's very doable.
It's not out of the question. It's really not.
Dallas. Beating Dallas twice is probably the hardest thing we get. That's why I say
easily. Yeah, definitely the hardest for sure.
But the lucky thing about it is, let's say maybe, we win and then we beat Dallas our first game, and then later on in the season, Dallas we pretty much won enough games. Let's just sit out some players, and then we run the tables. We get 11-6. So I mean, but for Heineke, I think he's going to be here regardless next year. I think he's the starter going into next season, but I don't think he's the guy. I think he's just the starter going into next year.
So you think even if we draft a quarterback, you think he's maybe going to be the starter? Okay, so what if we drafted Sam Howell in the first? You think Heineke still is the first, the first string quarterback going into 2022, or if we drafted a Matt Corral or something like that?
If we
draft a guy in the top 15 picks, do you think he actually
it depends on who the guy is? If it's Howell's starting.
Okay, so if you think Howell. So there's certain quarterbacks in the first round you think it's not. Do you think we draft a quarterback in the first round? Because, if we get, let's say, to 8 and 9 and have the 15th pick overall, theoretically the quote-unquote good quarterbacks are going to be somewhere in the top 10, maybe the top 5, potentially. Do you think if Kenny Pickett's there or somebody like that is there, do we go after one of those guys?
No. I stand by that. No. I don't. If it's not Howell or if it's not Ritter, I'm not drafting none of them.
Well, I'm kind of asking for a prediction. I understand what you want. I know
if my prediction is going to go as you already know. My prediction is
okay.
I believe teams are literally going to listen to these idiots of analysts. Go ahead and pick Kenny Pickett. Go ahead and pick Malik Willis. Go ahead and pick Matt Corral. All three of those quarterbacks, they're probably gonna go before Ritter. Good. I want them to, because those are not the quarterback that you want at all. I mean, Kenny Pickett. I mean, if he lands in the right, organization, but Matt Corral and what's his name, Malik Willis. Okay, that people want to hype him up. You be crazy and you draft those guys. Cool, 1 or 2. That's what you want. And then we just sitting right there where we are. We get what we want. We don't have to move. We don't have to be top 5.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that. I want to draft a quarterback. I'm still not on the Heineke bandwagon. I can completely acknowledge that he's looked really, really good in these last 2 weeks. There's no denying it. I think of only one pass seriously that was dangerous, and it was completed. It got tipped by one of the, I think it was one of the linebackers from Tampa Bay, where it ended up getting completed by DeAndre Carter anyway. But outside of that, it's been nice, crisp passes, accurate, great mobility with his legs to be able to buy time. That 4th and 3 this week was incredible, getting it to John Bates, throwing it off his back foot, avoiding the rush. A guy basically had a clear shot at him. He was able to avoid that, throw a sidearm throw to complete it on 4th and 3. I like what I see from Heineke. And if we had to start him in a pinch, I think we have one of the best backups in the league in that situation. I think he's awesome. Still, I am not on board that I think that he is the franchise quarterback that a lot of fans, and I don't even know if I would, like, what percentage of fans think this, but there's clearly a lot of fans that are big fans of Heineke and don't want to make any other moves other than for backups and him be the starter. But one thing that I criticize him for, and I'm going to be last thing on this, that I criticize him for that I've given him credit, he stayed healthy this entire time.
I've been said that. I said that wasn't an issue or a problem, but y'all don't listen.
He had 3 starts, 3
And I
injuries.
told
Come on, you can't
what
say
was
it
the
wasn't a problem.
He was playing for a job. That
He's
was
still
the
playing
thing.
for a job.
No,
but
is he? He got a 2-year
he's definitely
deal.
playing much tamer football.
He was playing to stay on the football team. Now he's playing. He knows he's on the football team. Now he's earned it. Now he don't have to go out and do what he did. Now in the playoffs, if he want to get anywhere, he might just have to play that way.
Yeah.
But hey.
Fair. Oh, this is a fair question. Yeah, bridge quarterback. We both talked about this. There's actually not a lot in the free agency market.
Bridge quarterback Heineke, period. Everything we have is on the roster. We don't need to go out and go get no more quarterbacks unless you want to bring in the third string. I'm not going. Heineke is the. You don't get no better than that. You really don't.
You're really not. I mean, Marcus Mariota is not going to be any better than Heineke.
No.
Mitch Trubisky is not going to be any better than Heineke. These are the kind of free agents. Like, people, I don't know who people think that are free agents out there, but Aaron Rodgers is not a free agent you'd have to trade for. Russell Wilson's not a free agent you'd have to trade for. Matt Ryan is not a free agent you'd have to trade for. Derek Carr is not a free agent you'd have to trade for. Like, some of these names that actually may be worth mentioning to become a starter here as a bridge quarterback are not somebody you could just sign off the streets. Like, it's names like Mitch Trubisky, Marcus Mariota, there was a couple other names, but Tyrod Taylors of the world, like the Andy Daltons. Like, it's not. There's really nobody that's coming out on the market that you think, okay, I can make a play for a quarterback like that. All right, let's get into this. He showed up again, 5 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown. And I didn't even realize this. Look, Terry McLaurin, do you know how much money he's making right now? Like, do you know what his contract is?
Nah.
Right now. He is making only $850,000 this year. He is not. What's his name? Adam Humphries is getting paid more than Terry McLaurin right now on this team. I think DeAndre Carter is getting paid more than Terry McLaurin. We have one of the biggest bargains right now on this rookie deal with Terry McLaurin. It's insane what he's getting paid. And then next year, we have him under contract for 1 more year. That's $950,000. So again, we're paying him less than $1 million. Do you think he's getting paid this offseason? And if you do, what do you think that contract's going to be?
Yeah, he's going to get paid this offseason. Ooh. I think we should give him 5 years, 135. 5 years, 135, 95 guaranteed.
What does that come out to be? So 135. That's like $27 a year.
Yep.
That's exactly $27 a year. Wow, $27 million a year for Terry McLaurin. Honestly, I would do it. I love him. Everything about him is what you want on this football team. I think that contract is fair. He'd be one of the highest paid, or if not the highest paid. But
it's D-Hop. I mean, he'll be tied.
Is D-Hop at 27?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he'd be tied for the highest paid receiver in the league.
That's not going to be nothing because Devontae Adams is going to get paid, and Devontae Adams is going to reset the market at 30. So you just give Terry 27 for 5 years. You average that over 5 years. That's not going to be nothing, really.
Yeah, and if that's a 5-year extension, we would have him for 6 years. So actually, you could theoretically average it over 6 years. And now you're not paying $27 million. Like, if you averaged it over, I don't know what exactly that would be. It would be like $25 million a year, something like that, or 23, $24 million a year now. So now you're lower that average per year over the next 6 for much, much less. But I think he's worth being one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid. And he's not going to earn as much as Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has more production over the last few years, and we know the situation. He's played with Aaron
Devontae
Rodgers and
Adams
everything
had
like that.
2 good seasons.
Yeah, but those seasons were like incredible. We're talking like 17 touchdowns or something like that.
Years, though.
Yeah, but he clearly, it's inarguable that he's had more
you
production than Terry. But we understand the situation.
He's going to outperform that contract by a mile. Literally, he's going to outperform that by a mile, especially with the trajectory. I think he's on a pace of getting like 1,400 yards this year.
He's at
something
like that.
He's at 735 right now.
735.
So in the next 2 games, he should have it.
Yeah, in the next 2, definitely the next 3 games, he'll over 1,000
exactly.
Easily.
And then he'll have how much to go? What?
So in 3 games, he would have 4 more games after that. And theoretically, if you can average like 80, yeah, you're right there in the 1,300 range.
It's going to be basically his first 3 years over 1,000. I mean, his first year he had 919.
And you think he missed the last 2 games? Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And he might have what? This is his highest touchdown season, I think. Or no, I think his first year was 7 touchdowns he had. Well, this is going to be his highest touchdown season. He's probably going to get about 10 touchdowns this year. 10, maybe 12, depending on what they do. I think against Seattle, he's going to go crazy. But he's going to have probably in the season with 13 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards received. I mean, what's up?
Something, maybe not 13. How many touchdowns does he have already?
5.
5. Yeah, so he may get 10. I could see 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, something like that, and that'd be a great season. Yeah, I would love that.
And he did
Terry
it
McLaurin.
with Heineke. Not to say Heineke's bad.
Yeah,
but did it with Heineke. Now,
and he did it with an offense that's not using him in a advantageous way of him getting an unbelievable amount of yards and points. Like, it's not like they're trying to get it to him 15 targets a game or something like that. I mean, he's struggling to get 8-9 targets a game. So yeah, it's doing it on considerably less targets than the other top receivers around the league. But
yeah,
interesting.
He deserves it.
Interesting. I love it. I hope we do.
And I want him here for life, and that'll definitely lock him up here for life. And it's like Terry's not going nowhere. We got him here. We good. Will he be 31 by the end of that deal?
Yeah, because he is a little bit of an older receiver coming out. So what is he, 26? Yeah, 26. So 5 years extension.
31.
That would put him at 33 because we still have him next year. So he'll be 27 next year. And then 5 years, so 32. It would put him at 32.
Well, theoretically, he probably have 2 more good years after that. And he'd probably retire.
I'll take it. Because
the thing about him until
32 is going to be great.
A guy like Terry, by that age, he doesn't care no more because of how he is. He's going to be more so on I'll just be a deep threat and I'll just coach the young guys. And that's what you want in the locker room. That's what Tanner was when Tanner got older. Even though I believe Tanner could have still did damage, we just didn't use him. But Tanner still was getting touchdowns. Tanner still was effective in certain situations. So I think Terry's just be beautiful here. You give him everything he needs. Make him the highest paid on the team. Clear cut. No debate.
Yeah, I mean, and also receivers just get paid more than guys like D tackles. So I love Jonathan Allen. I'm so happy we paid him for the long term. And he's done nothing but prove that contract was 1,000% justified. Great deal. Only $18 million a year, $17 million a year. I think that's a steal for him right now, especially with the rising cap theoretically. But I think that paying Terry $27 million a year, it sounds like it's going to hurt. And people would say things like this with Richard, and this is a fair assessment for a lot of fans. It's we need a team-friendly deal so we can extend Sweat and Payne.
Hey, I want Payne gone.
Honestly, paying him next year $27 million a year, like extending him for 5 years, is going to be a team-friendly deal. That's what people don't like. The cap is going to continue to go up.
Yeah, because he extended, so I don't think it's going to hit till the next year. Mm-hmm. And next year, who we pay next year?
Yeah, next year. Next year we're gonna have to pay Duran, right? Because Duran's gonna be.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go this year.
So you don't think we're gonna pay Duran?
I don't want him no more. I mean, he's underachieved.
I mean, he's got a lot of pressures.
You've been in the league 5 years, bro. Your potential is top 2 D tackle in the league. That's his potential. He hasn't reached it. You've been here 5 years. When it's too late now.
This is his 4th year, yeah.
Before you, I mean, come on. On. I'm not waiting no more.
It's interesting. But Sweat is not going to get paid until he's only on his 3rd year. So we have him for 2 more years.
Get paid when Terry gets paid.
No, because Terry should get paid next year.
Yeah, him and Sweat came in the same draft class, right?
Yeah, but Sweat's a first-round pick, so we get him for a 5th-year extension. So we won't have to pay him until the year after. And that's also if we're going to pay him,
I mean, well,
quote-unquote, ahead of schedule, if we're going to extend.
We got a lot of players we got to pay. We got to pay Leno. We got to pay JD.
I'm not paying. I don't care about Leno. I can draft. I think he's played fine, but I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him a big contract.
You don't have to give him 3 years, $40 million, something like that.
No way. He's old. No way.
Leno's like 28. What you mean he's old?
Oh, I thought he was in his 30s. Is he only 28?
29.
You know what? I might be wrong. If he's in it, then he will get a big payday. He's 30 right now.
Okay, give him 3 years.
40 million, 3 years? I mean, it's a cheap left tackle. I don't know what his, I know that our offensive line is playing phenomenally. I don't know what he's doing.
You got to lock Leno up after this season. You can't just keep shuffling.
I think the best thing Leno did all year was miss that block and had Ryan Fitzpatrick hurt. But no, in the O-line, everybody on the O-line's playing phenomenally. Speaking of the O-line, does Wes Switzer, I think he needs to be the starting center from here on out. I think him at center, Brandon Sheriff at right guard, Eric Flowers at left guard, that center of the line is phenomenal. Easily top 10, maybe top 5 in the league. Do you agree that Wes Switzer needs to be the starting center? And why did we even go to Tyler Lawson?
I mean, obviously, I disagree because you're paying Chase Roulier. You just paid Chase Roulier.
Well, Chase Roulier is out for the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about this year.
Who's our starter now?
Tyler Lawson was the one starting this year.
After what I done seen in that game, he was getting abused by Vita. I'm like, what are you doing? I'll take it. Sure. Why not? You put your best out there in the field.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe maybe Brandon go down. We don't want to have Wes go down with Brandon. And it's like now you really get into the nitty gritty of your O-line. So it's like, maybe let's just throw Larson out there. He's not doing too bad. He's getting the job done. So, I mean, leave Wes for next year when Brandon going to go.
Yeah, because Brandon is definitely not coming back. That's a great point. Unless they, oh my goodness, could you imagine if they throw a bunch of money at Brandon? They might. Like, Ron Rivera likes Brandon, loves Brandon. Like, he is a Ron Rivera guy, a nitty-gritty guy.
I think Brandon going to go.
Well, I don't think Ron Rivera
let him to stay.
I don't think they want to let him go.
I think he's just gonna go. I think he's gonna say, you know what? Thank y'all. Now, if he wants to stay, by all means, stay. Maybe he might be like, you know what? I shave a couple million off the deal. Who knows?
Fair enough. I mean, that's gonna be a lot of money off the cap. Because I mean, he's already getting 18. The first person that's
getting paid is Terry. Terry might get this. He might just get the extension when week 18 end. Unless he's not eligible yet. I
hope we pay him this year. It's possible. It's possible that they won't. But I don't see the benefit. I don't see why. I don't like. Are you really? Can you really imagine a scenario that you don't want Terry McLaurin on your team? And I'm asking this figuratively to the front office. Like, there is no scenario that you don't want Terry McLaurin on this team. So the only way to pay him and not have to pay $35 million a year is pay him next year $26-27 million a
I
year.
mean, next upcoming season.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Well,
next offseason.
You can't let him
This
play
next
that
offseason.
contract out.
Absolutely not. And wait until
If he's able to stay healthy too, because
who
now
knows what the
Terry gonna be like,
franchise tag is going to be? Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
he gonna ask, you know what? I need 32, 33, and he's rightfully so. You can't say no to him. And I
He would
think
probably get it. He would get it on the open market.
and that's why they're not gonna do it. They're like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and extend this boy.
I hope we do. I hope we do. All right, well, let's move towards this Seattle game. But first, let's kind of leading into this. We're going to potentially get two big weapons back. And first up, Logan Thomas back at practice. And he's been out for several weeks now. What, 5 weeks? 5 weeks, I think we've been missing.
It might have been more.
Right, and then, of course, Ricky Seals-Jones went out against Tampa, so we had to rely on Bates and Sammis Reyes a little bit, mostly Bates.
Bust.
John Bust. But, yeah, so how – and then, of course, also we're going to be getting Curtis Samuel back potentially. He's back at practice also.
Good in practice.
How – like, this offense has looked pretty darn good the last 2 weeks, especially last week against the number one pass defense in the league. All of a sudden, how good could this offense be coming down the stretch with the defense playing a little bit better, and you get two of your most important weapons outside of Terry, your second and third most important weapon, probably Logan number 2 and Curtis number 3. How dynamic could this be?
If Curtis can be Curtis, man, we should run the table. Because if you can't stop us now, because you got to think about it, Ricky Seals-Jones be back. Now we know, well, I'd been new, but now we know Ricky Seals-Jones is definitely a threat. You put him and Logan out there, then you put the different kind of things you can do on offense with Ricky Seals back, Curtis back, Logan there. I mean, our offense has already been putting up points without them, 28, 31, 20s. You get both of them back, it's over. And then the defenses that be playing on the stretch, they're not good. None of them. We can have our way. We got Seattle, terrible defense.
Terrible, yep.
Dallas defense is not really all that good.
It's well coached, but it's not the most talented.
And we're going to abuse them. And then we got the Eagles twice. Giants are no Blake Martinez. They just fired Jason Garrett. They're dumpster fire.
I mean, good night. Tampa Bay just walked down the field like they were like getting them 9 yards a play in the first half. It was just
a healthy
outrageous.
Curtis.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go far. We can be dynamic. We can build off of this. And I think once he gets back, we didn't even really open up the playbook really because he hasn't been here. But you still got Carter, Dax, Humphreys when making big catches when they matter most. You got all these guys making plays. We're good. And adding them two, it's just gonna be even better.
Those jet sweeps and reverses all of a sudden actually, and also some screenplays, all of a sudden have some potency, right? Like, we've gotten Terry a couple times in the screen game, and he's really the only one that's been any decent. And, of course, running backs do a decent job out of the screen game. J.D. McKissick, Antonio Gibson, you think about that great screen against Buffalo. That was the 70-yard touchdown play. But we haven't really had any dynamic jet sweeps. Even with Carter, we like what Carter's doing, but he's nowhere near Curtis Samuel. He doesn't have the center of gravity Curtis Samuel has. He's not as fast. He's got some good speed, but he's not as fast as Curtis. He's not as skilled as Curtis, even though we like what we've seen out of Carter. But we've tried to give it to, like, Cam Sims. Absolutely not. We try to give it to Adam Humphreys. No shot. Like, Curtis is leagues above guys like that. And I'm excited to see if Curtis is actually finally healthy after sitting for all this time. Because I don't think he's played at all the last 2 weeks, and he had the bye week. So he sat there for 3 complete weeks. And did he play before the bye? So it might be a whole month.
And he going basically not doing nothing tomorrow.
Yeah, and he has an extra day. Yeah, exactly. He has an extra day going into Monday. So basically a full month off for Curtis Samuel, who was already healthy enough to play a little bit, at least. So the torn groin has got to be somewhat healthy by now. Like this can't be continuing to linger at this. This is just so frustrating, and I'm sure he's probably the most frustrated by this, of course. But and then you get Logan Thomas back, arguably a top 10 tight end. Definitely, he was a top 10 tight end last year statistically.
In the red zone.
Yeah, he's
with him and Ricky Seals.
Yep. Way better than Ricky Seals-Jones in the red zone, for sure. And better than pretty much anybody in the red zone. Like, I would even... there's an argument that he's better than Terry in the red zone. Well, because of his size. I mean, he's a 6'4" big boy human being. Well, but in the red zone, your speed doesn't matter as much because there's not as much field to cover, and obviously Terry's got a lot. So I'm saying, of course, outside, like in between the 20s, Terry's got Logan by a mile. I love Terry, but strictly speaking, in the red zone, Logan is probably our number one target on this entire team. So we get that kind of a guy back. We get a guy that's a Swiss Army knife like Curtis Samuel. You could use him like Deebo Samuel and put him in the backfield. Like they've been running Deebo Samuel all the time. You could put him in the backfield. Now, basically, when you have J.D. McKissic, Antonio Gibson, and Curtis Samuel in the field, you have 3 running backs. How in the world is a defense game plan for that? You don't know what in the world they're doing every time. Like, you could have 2 running backs in the backfield, and then Curtis could take a jet sweep. Like, imagine if we had, like, a running quarterback like Lamar Jackson in this or something, Kyler Murray. Like, and we could literally run...
What did I say?
We could literally run the Navy-style offense in the NFL.
I know Roger would like that.
We could run that style offense, the quadruple option. It'll be called the quadruple option. You could fake the jet sweep, fake the run up the middle for the fullback, run it with your quarterback, and pitch it to Antonio Gibson. Like, hand it to Curtis on the jet sweep, fake that, hand it to Antonio Gibson up the middle as a fullback, and then pitch it out to a quick J.D. McKissic on the outside, or have Kyler Murray. Right? Of course, now I'm dreaming, and we're not going to do that. Anyway, but it's still, there's so many options with these 2 guys coming back, and if Ricky Seals-Jones can come back. I don't know the status on him exactly right now.
We practiced it too.
There you go. So, yeah, I still don't think we have, like, the best weapons in the league, but they're plenty good enough. They're plenty dynamic enough, and and especially considering how this offense has looked with Dax Milne, John Bates, Cam Sims playing a lot of snaps, Adam Humphries playing a lot of snaps, and now you'll all of a sudden have a guy like Logan, Curtis, and you continue to have Terry, Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissic. I mean, Ricky Seals-Jones. This offense should be able to move the football quite nicely.
This, man, if they continue to do what they're doing, you go out there, you get your Ritter, you plug him in. Nobody's really you really don't got to pay nobody a lot of money but Terry on offense. So I'm holding all that money in my back pocket just in case I might need to go out and, you know what I mean, might be somebody available. They might want to come here and be like, you know what, let me throw this money. I got money here. I ain't got no big name guy. You already paid Logan. Okay, I already signed Ricky Seals. Not much money for all that talent. Not much money. I got Dax Milne. I got DeAndre Carter. I can give DeAndre Carter a 3-year deal, maybe $15 million. That's nothing. Bring JD back 2 years, 10, 12. You see what I'm saying? You could just throw it in. But they're going to outperform that by light years. But you could throw it at them. They just guys and they willing to do their jobs and come in here and just work. That's it. That's all you want instead of going out here, give me this or
not a lot of egos. There's definitely, I agree. There's like no
and that's
ego.
What Ron Rivera don't want.
There's not a single ego on this offense. And really,
I mean, look at the O-line.
Yeah,
none of them. They're just guys. All of them just guys. You don't got no Bakhtiari, like the Chiefs, Lando Brown, Joe Thune, all overpaid. And guess what we got? Just guys who really just do their job.
Yeah, it's true.
That's perfect. And then when their contracts come up, hey, give them a little money, give them a little money, give them a little money.
All right. So we're going to hop into these 5 keys to victory for the Seahawks game. But first, I'm just going to read the chat for a little bit. Get some chat. Thank you, everybody that's been in the chat. Richard Motley, Red Wings, Luzza, DRG's in the chat. Who else is in here? Just Nation, thank you for being here. Jacob, of course. Everybody here. Kalen Meekins, Fight for Old DC. Did we re-sign Sheriff? No, he's under a franchise tag right now. Hey, Tim. What's up, buddy? No to Ritter again. Nah, Ritter's great. You got to have Ritter should be the number 1 pick overall in this draft. And we're not going to let Chris go off on that because
I don't have to. I'm not.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here until Thanksgiving dinner if we allow him to get started on.
Trust me.
I see some potential in DeAndre Carter. Yeah, I mean, he's already shown the potential. I mean, he's had 3 touchdowns, I believe, in the last 3 weeks. He's got a kick return touchdown this year. No, he's been a phenomenal offseason pickup. And I'm not afraid. I thought it was a camp body. I thought it was a guy that had no shot of making this football team.
Too.
And I didn't want him, no interest in it. And he's been one of the biggest breaths of fresh air on this
Definitely
team.
Helping out Terry.
Yeah.
Now teams got to be like, number 1, you got to go over there.
Speak of which, Terry. Pay the man, absolutely. Yeah, they're talking about Terry. Give him all the money. Yeah. He's good to let go. Oh, I'm not sure who that was referring to, but definitely not Terry. But I think Desmond Ridder will fall. People aren't as high on him. Dude, I don't know what is going on. And I know Chris has been sending me a bunch of these things of like he's not barely in people's top 5 quarterbacks. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know why. I really don't understand. I've seen plenty. I see an undefeated football team in the top 4. I see a guy that can run the football as good as anybody out of the quarterback position coming out of this draft. I can see a guy who could throw the football. He's got a great arm. What'd you say? He's a 66% completion percentage. I don't know. That's good. There's nothing wrong with a 66 completion percentage. Maybe it's a little low at the college ranks, but still, if you had that at the NFL level, that's phenomenal. I'm Richard Motley's on the Ritter train. But anyway, I'm going to stop because I know you're going to want to keep talking about it. So I don't want to get to... Anyway, I'm just kidding. Gibson's still not 100% healthy. Plus, you can tell he's trying to shed his old receiver habits.
I can tell he's not 100%. That's the crazy part.
Dude, he looked 100% in that second half, didn't he? He was like, running hard. I don't think that fumble was totally his fault. The guy punched it at the right angle. I mean, there's obviously, like, if you run the ball long enough, you're going to get fumbles. But the point is you've had, 4 fumbles this season?
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. Like, eventually you got to, yeah. And even one of them, I think he had 2 hands on the football and he still fumbled it. Like, how in the world do you do that? He's got to hold that in.
I think that was Dax. He had 2 arms on it and he punched it out.
Maybe. I don't remember. But bring back RG3. That's a good joke. Give Terry $50 million a year. That'd be good. I was referring to Terry. I said he's too good to let go. I must have misread it. Thank you, Red Wings. I'm sorry. Yes, too good to let go. I agree. I'm not a Washington believer after these 2 wins. Okay, well, that's okay. And that's fair, knowing the history of this team. That's fair. But remember, nobody was a believer in this team at 2-7 last year, including me. I was so ready to throw in the towel last season. I hated everything after we lost to the Giants twice. I was so mad. But then we came back and we ended up 7-9 and making the playoffs, beating an 11-0 Steelers team, beating the division rival, the Eagles, at the end of the year. We did a lot of good things last year. So sweeping Dallas, which was a lot of fun. So we have the potential coming out of this deal. Malik Cunningham, you like him?
He's a 3rd, 4th round pick.
Would you want to draft him in the 3rd or 4th?
No.
Like, if we don't get one in the 1st?
No.
Like, what if we drafted a left tackle in the 1st to replace Leno, and then we have our tackles drafted for the next few years? We got Sam on one side, another left tackle. So we have our tackles drafted. We drafted a linebacker in the 2nd because Lord knows we need linebackers.
If anything, this year's draft is not heavy on left tackles at all. At all. And if you do anything outside of quarterback in the first round, it should be either linebacker or free safety. That's it. If it's not going to be quarterback, you go linebacker or free safety.
I'm okay with the left tackle if that's the direction they would go. But I agree, if it's not left tackle, linebacker, free safety, I'm cool with those for sure. I'm not a receiver or running back guy in the first. So, but I love linemen of both sides in the first. Like I don't hate on teams that draft linemen either direction. If you draft O-line or D-line, I'm good. Obviously, we don't need D-line. We're stacked to the gills on D-line. But if we end up drafting a left tackle, a linebacker, or free safety, I think those are three phenomenal options, of course, outside of the quarterback. All right. Any last things you would say before we hop into these 5 keys to victory?
Nope.
All right. Here we go. 5 keys to victory to beat the Seattle Seahawks on Monday night. Russell Wilson coming to D.C. after the injury. They haven't looked very good over these last couple of weeks. I think they got shut out by the Packers, and they got destroyed by the Cardinals last week without Kyler Murray. And was it even without DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just absolute destruction last week. Do you think this is potentially Seattle's get-right game before we get into the 5 keys of victory? Do you think this is maybe a trap game?
No.
Us coming off 2 wins, they've coming off 2 losses?
No. They're 3-6. I mean, they're 3-7. We're 3-6. What trap game?
Well, we're 4-6 coming off 2 wins. But anyway,
yeah.
Well, Russell Wilson also has like a 10-2 record, I think I looked up on Monday night. So he's phenomenal in prime time. So that's going to be scary. But I predicted this as a win before the season even started. So it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. But all right, do you want to go first in the 5 keys to victory, or do you want me to go?
You can go.
5 keys to victory to beat the Seahawks. Number 1, contain Wilson. We've struggled with mobile quarterbacks in the past. I hope that our D-line that's playing much more disciplined without Chase Young and Montez Sweat with James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill, they're playing much more team football there, but we got to continue. Like, we had a complete breakdown. I think it was Rotimi or something like that when he came in the game with Cam Newton getting outside. Of course, Cameron Curl, of course, bit on that one a little bit too much inside also. But we got to keep Russell Wilson contained, number 1. Number 2, I preach this all the time, and we've done it phenomenally the last 2 weeks, and I want us to continue to win the time of possession. Continue to have those nice, long, sustained drives. Of course, if you score too fast, I'm not going to complain, but I love the 10.5-minute drive to close out the Tampa game. I think we had like a 6-minute drive in the fourth quarter against the Panthers last week. Continue to pound the time of possession is number 2. Number 3, I've also said this several weeks in a row. I'm going to continue to say it, and we've done a great job. Continue to not put the ball in harm's way. Taylor Heineke, don't have any turnovers. I've said that for multiple weeks.
He'll be fine with that.
Yep.
They ain't got no guys that can take the ball away anyway.
True. Hey, continue to not get turnovers. He's done a great job. We have to keep that up, because if we give other teams extra opportunities, it's going to be bad. This one's interesting, and we've talked about it already with Logan and Curtis, and this is something I have never said before, but I want to see us spread the ball around. All right, a lot of times we say, get the ball to Terry, get the ball to Terry, get the ball to Terry, but with Logan coming back and Curtis coming back, if they are actually healthy, I want everybody to have like 9 targets. Like, I want the ball pretty much spread throughout the entire receiving core, at least those 3, and I want to continue to make the defense spread thin against this Seahawks team. Spread them out wide, make them spread thin, and of course continue to pound the rock, of course. But I want to see a good spread of the football going into this game. I think that'll be fun. And the last one, number 5, play more man-to-man than zone on defense. I know you can't play man-to-man the entire game. You get destroyed that way. But I'm talking 75% man-to-man, 25% zone. Our zones are horrific. Our zones are pathetic. Our zones are scary bad. stop playing, and it seemed like we played zone on every key down last week. I mean, it was we played zone on the Cam Newton run. We played zone on the Christian McCaffrey touchdown. We played, I think it was actually man-to-man on the DJ Moore touchdown, but still, several third, I think they had 2 first downs on third downs. Both of those came out of zone plays. I want to play more man-to-man with this defense than zone, and you can also add in there, continue to send some extra pressures, like 5-6 man rushes, but that's like a 5A or a 5B, I should say. But anyway, what about you? Do you have a good 5 keys to victory, or do you want to move forward?
Force
Okay.
them to throw the 31.
Okay.
Secondly, they're going to play man coverage. That's what they do sometimes, and their zones are horrible too. They're one of the worst defenses in the game. Get the ball to Terry McLaurin. Their cornerbacks are horrible. Terry McLaurin should have $150, 2 tubs.
Mm-hmm.
Get the ball to Terry.
Okay.
Like you said, control time possession. You should be able to dog this their D line. You should just flat out dog it. And then lastly, let Joey Sly kick it.
Let Joey Sly kick
Just
it.
take the points.
I like that. That's a great point. Yeah, because a lot of people are like, you can't win with 3. You can't win with 3. No, I love it.
You take the points. That way the offense know they came off the field. They did something. They put some points on the board. Your defense start feeling a little bit good about themselves. Your defense can, you know what I mean? So just take the field goal if it's dead.
I like
now,
right.
I think Ron won't mind going for a lot of 4th downs because it's the Seahawks defense. So he probably be like, I don't care. Just go. So don't be surprised we go for 4th and 3s, 4th and 2s, 4th and 1s. Don't be surprised. Ron's probably just going to say, go do it. Because their offense is not, and their offensive line isn't very good. So this could be a coming out party for that defense. So, this should be a game for Will. I hope we get Saint Goat back. I hope it. Because Will Jack, him and Kendall, I just feel like DK going to abuse Kendall.
But, oh, yeah. Jeez Louise.
Double team DK. Let Tyler Lockett beat me. I don't got time. DK's the DK.
Yeah, maybe I should make an amendment for that man-to-man thing. Oh, we got to play more man-to-man because our zones are just so bad.
If it's Juice,
but
I'll do man-to-man. But if it's Kendall, I'm not doing man-to-man. No.
Yeah, definitely want to have a safety over top with DK Metcalf.
But I definitely dial up
so big and fast.
Game. Or we might can get that before. Who knows?
They do have a bad O-line. Fair enough. All right. That was fun. Now let's hop into our weekly power rankings. And, of course, we go back and forth with we both give our 5, 4, 3, and 2, 1 in order. And I didn't write this down this time, but I'm just going to kind of wing it from what I'm seeing. I think I want them in there. I want them. I want them. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Number 5, I got the Los Angeles Rams. I still like them at number 5. I still think they're super talented. They're coming off the bye week with Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford. I think they're going to have a good finish to the year. I got number 5, the Los Angeles Rams. Who you got at number 5?
Number 5, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to take the Packers.
Packers?
Even though they lost to Minnesota, it was a close one. I'm going to take Packers at 5.
Okay. All right. Yeah, coming off a loss, but yeah, still a really good football team all around. I like that. Number 4 for me, because they still got Patty Mahomes. I'm putting them in my top 5. Kansas City Chiefs. They win another one against the Raiders. Or was it the Raiders this week? I don't know. They're 7-4 now after a slow start. They're starting to come together a little bit. I like the Kansas City Chiefs in my top 5 because they have the best quarterback in football with a phenomenal offensive head coach. Give me the Chiefs at number 4.
Give me let me get I ain't gonna give them in. You know what? Give me the Rams. I'll take the Rams at 4.
Ooh, the Rams at 4. Okay. Over the Packers. Interesting. Okay.
They got to play them. And I
They
think
gotta
they're
play
going. I
'em.
think they got to play them this week. So I think the Rams going to beat the Packers. So therefore, putting Rams on.
All right, I'm going to take a page out of your guys' book last week. You guys had to put them in there. I wasn't ready to, but a 25-0 win, even over a bad team, a complete shutout. Their defense is playing out of this world. They have the best coach in history of the NFL. The New England Patriots sitting for me at number 3. They play great team football. They run the ball. They control the lines of scrimmage. They have one of the best offensive lines of football. And Mac Jones, proving me wrong for sure. I was not a Mac Jones supporter coming out of this draft, but man, he is playing extremely well. They're sitting at 7-4, atop their division over the Bills. I got them at number 3.
Let me get the Colts.
The Colts.
Colts looking good.
They took out the
Destroy
Bills.
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, they did. JT's
Destroy
a monster.
Buffalo.
Jonathan Taylor.
Give me the Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts. They've been up and down for me to put them in the top 5 yet. But they are a really good football team. I like them. Number 2, as you mentioned, they lost. But, hey, it's a loss in a division. Those are weird games. You never know what's going to happen. I got Green Bay Packers number 2. They got one of the top quarterbacks in football, of course. They got one of the best weapons in football in Devontae Adams. Their defense is playing really, really well. Aaron Jones has been out the last couple games. I'm sure that hurt them against the Vikings also. He'll come back eventually, but I still have them as the number 2 team in this league. I think they are a phenomenal football team, of course, and put them at number 2.
Give me the Mac Man. Mac
2.
Man stays at 2.
Didn't you have him at number 1 last week?
I think I had the Titans at number 1.
Actually, you might be right. Maybe it was Gotti that had him at
he had
number
Titans
1.
too.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, you guys both had the Titans. All right. I think I had Titans at like number 4 or something like that last week. All right. Number 1 in the league. Do you want to go first or me first?
We probably
at the same team. Yeah. I had them number 1 last week. So I'll just go. Arizona Cardinals proved me right. Even without their quarterback, even without their number 1 wide receiver, they destroyed their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. I don't even remember who was home in that game. But they're sitting there with the best record in football at 9-2. They are a complete football team. Gotta love Cliff Kingsbury. Arizona Cardinals, number 1. Is that who you got?
Yep.
Well, there you go. All right. Now, dude, I accidentally spilled my water on... I forgot that I didn't finish my water last week, and it was sitting here, and I didn't see it because of my mic, and I just hit the cup, and I spilled it all over my notebook. So this week, I'm going to put it on the back of this sheet of paper. And I'll transfer it over after it dries out. I got it hanging on my closet door right now. I was like, no. But all right, well, we ended up. Did you picked the Cardinals? I mean the Seahawks last week, right?
No, I picked the Cardinals.
You did pick the Cardinals. I wrote it down that way, but for some reason I thought you picked the Seahawks also. So you picked the Cardinals.
I picked Seattle. No, I picked Seattle. Seattle.
Yeah, we both picked Seattle. Okay, I wrote it down wrong because I think Juan Gotti picked the Cardinals,
and
I think
Seattle.
I wrote it. Yeah, I think we both said Seattle because we didn't think Kyler was going to play, but it ended up being wrong. So, in that case, we are still tied. We had only 2 games different last week. I picked the Eagles over the Saints.
So
got that one right.
Up?
I'm up 2. I'm up 2 still for the entire year, but we tied last week. So we're going into week 12 with Timmy Boy up by 2. And let's go ahead and hop into this weekly picks. When we get out of here, Chris has got places to be, people to see. And here we go. First game. Oh, shoot. Let me get the schedule up. First game. So we got 3 Thanksgiving Day games. First up, we got the Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions.
Give me from the D. Give me Detroit.
Give you Detroit.
Give me
Detroit
Detroit
gets
and
their
Dan.
first win.
Give me Detroit and Dan Campbell. Give me Detroit.
I'm taking the
first
Bears.
win.
Give me Chicago. Give me Chicago.
Sam is picking the red rifle this week.
Red Rifle's starting? I don't
Yep.
care. The Lions are a joke. I don't even
Khalil
care
Mack
if they're
out for the year. I'm glad you did that.
I think they're going to lose.
Right
I think
into
they're
my
gonna lose.
hands.
I don't care. I think a lot of people are picking Detroit this week. I think a lot of people are picking Detroit. Chicago blows. Give me Lions and points. See, I think this is the trap game. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, the Lions are gonna get their first win. They've been so close to a win. They've been so close. They tied the Steelers. They almost beat whoever they played last week. I don't even remember who was it last week. They lost by 3. They've been so close. They're gonna get that win finally." And then Chicago comes out and is like, "Not on us, mother truckers." And Matt Nagy continues to live another day in Chicago somehow, some way. But give me the Bears. All right, we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys at home. Who you got?
I'd take Dallas.
Yeah, I got Dallas too. I got Dallas.
Got a feeling. I'm not gonna say Philly. I feel like Oakland. I really want to say. I want Oakland to win. Put it that way. I'm picking Dallas, but I want Oakland to win.
Oh, I'm rooting. I always root against Dallas. That's fine, even if I pick them. But I just pick with my brain, not my heart. All right, this is interesting. I thought they usually do a division rivalry game on Thursday night.
They just did us really in the Cowboys, but
yeah, that would have been fun. But usually they do a division rivalry game on the Thursday night game. I wonder why they switched it up this year. But this year they got Buffalo versus the New Orleans Saints.
Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, I think they're going to crush the Saints. Upset last week with the big loss. I think they make the comeback. All right, now we're moving on to Sunday. We got Pittsburgh versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Dang, that's going to be a dog fight. Give me Cincy.
Yeah, I got Cincy too. I'm not sure what in the world Pittsburgh's doing from week to week, and since he's at home, I'll take that. All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Colts. That'll be a fun game.
I'll take Tampa.
Oh, you taking Tampa? I thought that was going to be a different one. I thought you were going to take the Colts because you just put the Colts in your top 5.
Yes. All right.
You want to just hurry through this real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go quickly. All right. Panthers versus the Dolphins.
Panthers.
I agree with that. All right. We got Titans versus the Patriots. This will be a good game, too.
Patriots.
Give me the Mac Man. Give me the Mac Man. New England's looking really, really good. Eagles versus the Giants.
Give me the Giants.
Oh, I'm taking Philly. You're taking the Giants?
Yeah. I need them to win.
True. Atlanta versus Jacksonville. We've gone from a couple of good games to a couple of toilet bowl games here.
Atlanta.
Give me the Jags. Give me the Jags in this game.
Completely.
ATL's trash too. Both of them suck.
That game.
Wait, Kyle Pitts is still not in. He's still on his mental hiatus. He can't play.
Ridley.
Wait, who did I just say? Who did you just say?
I said
Kyle Pitts. All right. For some reason, when you said Kyle Pitts, I thought Ridley. Sorry. All right. Next game, we got New York Jets versus Houston.
Give me the Jets.
Give me the Jets. Give me Houston. They just beat the Titans. Man, we got a lot of games different this week. This is going to be an interesting week. All right. Chargers versus Denver.
Chargers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. All right. We got Los Angeles Rams versus the Packers. Man, we got a lot of games that could go either way. LA Rams versus the Packers. Give me the Packers at home. Give me the Packers. Matt Stafford returning to Lambeau Field since he left. Give me the Packers. All right. Minnesota versus the Niners.
The Vikings.
Yeah, I got Minnesota too. They got a lot of weapons over there. We got Cleveland Browns versus the Ravens.
Ravens.
With you. And Monday Night Football. We didn't even give us our score predictions yet, so this would be a great way to end it. What is your score prediction of the Seattle Seahawks versus the Washington Football Team?
41-13 Skins.
Give me 31-20. 31-20 Skins. All right. And we got Washington, of course. And sweet. We got a ton of games different this week. What do we got? We got Chicago versus Detroit. We got Philly the Giants, Jaguars Atlanta, Houston Jets, Chargers. Wait, did you pick Denver or the Chargers?
I picked the Chargers.
For some reason I wrote Denver. Sorry. Change that. Green Bay and the Rams are different. And that's it. So, wow, like 5 or 6 games different. That'll be a lot of fun. Well, all right. Well, Chris has got to get going. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Mass Collectors is 33-0 Washington. That'll be fun. Stafford rolling up into Rodgers' crib with his new crew. Going to be a heck of a game. True. That's going to be fun. But anyway, if you got to get out of here, I'll just read a couple of these. But thanks for hanging out, Chris. And I'll have a good Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Till next time. You too.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Colts, baby. Yeah, Ridley is still being sad about having millions of dollars. You know, I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't understand. I'm not going to pretend to understand what Calvin Ridley's going through, but, you know, it's... Everybody copes differently. Everybody copes differently. I just... Like, I know me, I feel like something bad is going to happen, or bad happens to me, and I still go to work the next day. You know, like, I feel like I'm going to go to work the next day even after, like, my grandmother dies, and I'm, like, super close to my grandmother. You know, like, I don't know. It's just a... But everybody copes differently. And it's not even that somebody died in his family, obviously, or at least I don't know of it. But, you know, like, whatever is going on in people's lives, you never know why or what exactly it is, but it is what it is. You know, like, I would love to see him still on the field. You know, I would still like to see him play through it, you know, work through it. I mean, still go to your counselors, still go to whoever you need to talk to, but continue to work through it. I don't know what... To me, I don't see like the benefit of what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, what is the benefit of you not playing the game that I'm assuming you love and trying to deal with other things? Like, how does that benefit you? I feel like that just compounds your mental state. Like, all right, now you're not getting paid. That's a whole nother thing. Now you're not playing the game you love. That's a whole nother thing. You're letting your team down, and you have to think about, like, you know, your teammates that really want you to be there. Like, that could be a contributing factor. Like, I don't see where the benefit is for him. So I would encourage him to go play if I ever talk to him one-on-one. But I don't hate him. I don't think he's, like, a terrible person. I don't think he's horrible or something like that. But I just think that you should continue, like, you know, maybe take a day off here or there. But, I mean, I would still show up. You know, like, maybe you just are having a really bad day and you need to stay home and everything like that. But what is the benefit for weeks and weeks and weeks of not playing football do for your mental health? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Signing bonus, my man, signing bonus? I don't know. Train of time stops for no one. True. The benefit is you got paid and you don't have to work and you are still rich. Maybe your point is that or maybe what you're saying is you don't think he's actually, any of this is a problem and he just doesn't want to play football anymore. Maybe. Then I would say that. And then I would think you're a piece of crap if that's the truth. I don't have any proof of that, and I don't assume that. But that you're a total piece of crap. You signed a contract and you aren't honoring it, and you're just deciding I don't want to play anymore. That is a piece of crap right there. But if I'm just like I don't understand it. I've never had like mental states like that anywhere near close to that. I've never been depressed that I could think of. Of course I've been sad. Of course I've had bad days or stuff like that. But I've never had serious depression or anything close to that, to be honest. I mean, my life has been really good. I'm not complaining about my life whatsoever. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. What up, Zach? How you doing? It wasn't a cop out. They would have said what was going on. Makes me think something is shady going on. I mean, I don't know. You don't have to. It's a personal thing. I don't know if there was something like they've already said it's a mental thing that he needs to work on himself. I don't know if it would be appropriate to go into more detail than that if you know more detail. I mean, it's his personal life. I don't think it's. I wouldn't like. I mean, it's kind of like. That's kind of like somebody saying like, in a trial. You don't say anything. You plead the fifth, and then somebody says you're guilty. Like, oh, you don't want to say anything, so you're guilty. You must be guilty. If you weren't guilty, why not just talk to us? No, that doesn't mean guilt just because you're not saying it, or that doesn't mean like you know what I mean. Like that I don't agree with that idea, but who knows? He was a great player. Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. I don't think Terry would still be friends with him if that were true. I don't know. I don't know how close him and Terry are. I mean, I'm assuming, great receivers all have some sort of respect for each other, but I don't know. Wait, are we talking about Chris Samuels? I got here late? No, I was talking about Calvin Ridley after the picks and stuff. He's not going to be 100 by Monday. I've been saying November, December for him since his injury. Oh, you're talking about Curtis Samuel. We weren't talking about Curtis Samuel. We were talking about Calvin Ridley. But yeah, I hope he should be 100% by now. Seriously. I mean, come on. Even if he tore his groin in early August or whatever it was, or like late July, early August. Even if it was early August, we got August, basically all of August, all of September, all of October, and now sitting at nearly all of November. That's 11 weeks, like 10, 11 weeks to heal, and he sat for the last month. He hasn't played the last month, right? Because he had the bye week. He didn't play. He didn't play against the Bucs. He didn't play against the Panthers, and I don't think he played against, was it Denver right before the bye? I don't think he played against Denver either. Like, I think he should be healthy by now. He re-tore it, and it stalls healing process. They overplayed him. I don't know if he re-tore it or not, but it's definitely hurt. It's a 6-month injury to fully heal from. Tears, I don't know about that. It might be. Maybe I'm wrong. For some reason, I thought it was shorter than that. Let me double check. Groin tear recovery time. Best rest and proper treatment. Most groin strains heal on their own in 4 to 8 weeks. A severe groin strain can take longer. It is very important to let the strain fully heal and get the doctors okay before going back to activities. That's a strain. What about a groin tear? If it's 48 weeks for a strain, you might be right. It's a 6-month for a tear. Maybe I'm completely off base here. Or maybe it was just a strain this whole time. Maybe it wasn't a tear. Because technically, saying it's a tear is speculation. Nobody knows it was a tear. Like, no, it's not. I'm a massage therapist. I've seen it a lot. Okay, fair enough. But nobody said it was a tear, right? Everybody's just said it's a strain, if I remember correctly. I don't think anybody ever said it was a torn groin. I think it was a groin strain, like, or a pulled groin or whatever, right? Am I completely speaking out of school for all of this? That's what I thought it was. Now I'm like second guessing everything I'm saying. Curtis Samuel injury. What is it? Groin. His injured groin. It just says injured groin here. I don't know. They just say groin injury, I guess. They're not saying a groin tear. Right? Nothing here is a groin tear. I don't know. They'll never admit to a tearing. They always downplay it. I wouldn't doubt it. Well, similar to the Calvin Ridley thing. I mean, not saying it doesn't mean it happened. But I understand what you're saying is them also not saying it doesn't mean it didn't happen, right? So neither of us, my whole point in saying that is not that one thing happened or it didn't happen. It's totally possible it's torn. I'm not saying that it's not torn, but technically we don't know, right? We don't know. Team and players like to be hush-hush about these kind of things. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But hopefully he plays, and hopefully he's healthy enough to not re-injure himself. Because, yeah, I mean, I agree with the sentiment of don't play him until he's unlikely to re-injure it. For legality, it's all speculation for sure. Yeah. But anyway, I'm on board with sitting him until he's healthy. I don't want to rush him back. I don't want to play this, you play here, you play 7 plays here, the next game you play 12, and now you're out for 3 weeks. I don't want to play this. I want you to be able to be in the game for 70, 80% of snaps and be able to use you in a whole ton of different ways, the reason why we paid you, and go from there for sure. But, all right, well, thanks, everybody. Yeah, he's played less than 50 snaps. That's true. But anyway, well, thanks, everybody, for being here for sure. It was a lot of fun. Of course, thanks, Chris, for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hey, the Tim and Jeris Sports Talk channel is the first link in the description below. Please go subscribe to that channel. It really helps to grow. We are getting close to the 50 subscribers. Actually, we may be there already. I don't know. Did somebody already subscribe to that channel? Let's see how many subscribers we got over there. I'm curious now. Tim and Jeris Sports Talk. Whoa. Okay. I don't know why they added apostrophes in there. No, that's Jeris Sports Talk. How many subs we got? We got 51! Let's go! Happy Thanksgiving. Got 51 subscribers for the second channel. That's a lot of fun. This channel's been growing like a weed. I think we're up to 24-16 now or something like that, which is just incredible. It's so much fun. Excuse me. Thank you guys for helping us, the channel, grow. I mean, we got a ton of new subscribers this past weekend. I think we had 165 new subscribers or something like that this past weekend, which is awesome. I mean, that's 7-8% of our channel double, or not double, but 7-8 added rather. It's a lot of fun. But thanks everybody for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. It was a lot of fun. We will be back Sunday night for sure. Will be a stream. I may, if I'm home and available, maybe I'll go live for a 1 o'clock game. Maybe. But 100% I'll be live for the Sunday night game. And yeah, it'll be fun for sure. And hopefully we have a good win Monday night. And of course, we'll be back on this show next Wednesday night. So thanks for everybody being here. There was almost 400 in the chat. Dude, there was 900. We topped out at 944 people that stream. We were so close to 1,000. We're so close. But 944 right now is the highest we've gotten. And that was this past weekend. We dang near got to 1,000. Could you imagine? That's so much fun. Yeah, 944 was the the peak concurrent viewers at one point. But yeah, and I think we had like 15,000 clicks or something like that. So that's a lot of fun too. So 1 out of every 15 people were hanging out almost at one point. So thanks to anybody. But anyway, I'm seriously going to get out of here this time. Thanks so much. And until next time. See ya!